Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and listen to this. This is pretty interesting. So I got a call the other day, and the guy that runs the booster club for my son's high school baseball team calls me up. They found out that I am a social media influencer, and now they asked me if I would run their high school baseball Twitter account. And so I went in there and I talked to him and I said, listen, there's not too many things I'm sure of. I actually told him, I said, usually I hide from these kind of activities. I'm a guy that stays home. I don't want to get involved in that kind of stuff and all that. But when they called me about that, I said, listen, that is the one thing I can help you with. And so I am going to help them plug themselves into the baseball network in Georgia, because that's where I am. So this will be fun, and I'm going to start working on that probably this weekend. Anyway, I just met with the baseball coach, and that's why it's taken me a while to get this video out. Okay, very interesting stuff. We got a good show for you today. Now, before I do this show, though, I want to tell you, I've told you the entire existence of this channel, or not the entire existence, but since this SEC case came up. And not even before that, I've said this a lot. What we're watching is one of two things. Either we're watching some major, or a combination of the two, I don't know, but probably one or two. Either what we're watching is some very disturbing, you can call it whatever you want, corruption, whatever you want to call it, or all the world's a stage. And I leave it to you to determine for you what all the world is a stage means. I know what it means to me, but you have to determine what that means for you. So Jeremy Hogan puts this out yesterday. Well, and by the way, I have many things in this video that go in both this really, really stinks and can be some really bad stuff, or all the world's a stage. I have both in this video, packed in this video. And that's part of the reason it's going to be very interesting. So Jeremy Hogan's going to start us off. Well, that is officially legally admitted. And here's what's admitted. Request for admission number 99. Admit, that sounds like admission number 99 sounds like a good thumbnail. That's kind of intriguing. Admit that prior to the initiation of this proceeding, in response to inquiries by third parties described in request number 99 above, the SEC has never informed a third party that it considers XRP to be a security. Answer: in addition to the foregoing objections, the Commission objects to this request is irrelevant because the Commission can prevail in this case even if this requested fact is true. Subject to all foregoing objections, the Commission, SEC, admits that before the filing of this case, certain third parties inquired about the legal status of XRP. However, the Commission did not state a view one way or the other in response. Now, folks, if anything is damning, to me that is. And then Hogan, this guy says, speak English, damn it. Ripple's first request for admissions to the SEC was attached to the most recent court filing. And in the SEC admits that it never told anyone that XRP was a security until the lawsuit was filed. That is now an official admission in the case. If I'm the judge, I see that and I say, get the hell out of my courtroom. Now, I do that if it's option one. If it's all the world's a stage, now I probably wouldn't do it. See where I'm going here? But guess who weighed in? Because it is Friday. And what do we do here on Fridays? We get the opinion of the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor. And part of the reason we do that on Fridays is because if I was an official cool guy, I would think that Friday, Saturday, those are my days, because I'm out, I'm about, and I'm cool, like the official cool guy. Well, the official cool guy is burning it up with this video. He did a really good one for us today. He sounds cool. He sounds confident. And he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Listen to this.
Okay. All right, first on the list, we got to talk about that SEC Ripple case. Ripple's fighting for the whole industry. They're going to have the last laugh. So 2 important things developed. One, Ripple's requesting documents that the SEC employees were allowed to trade XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, because they weren't on a security list. So they were bringing these lawsuits and trading. That should be interesting. And then another, notice to admit, SEC objected, saying it's irrelevant, but they'll admit it anyway, that they never told any exchanges that Ethereum was a security or not. In fact, they didn't opine on it at all. They said nothing for all these years. So how does Brad Garlinghouse know, intentionally and willfully, that he was selling a security? This goes back to the fair notice defense. Remember the case language that Judge Netburn wrote on the order. She said, fair notice does not look at the defendant's behavior, Ripple, but rather it looks at the SEC's behavior. So anything the SEC was doing or didn't say is relevant. Turn over those documents. Let's get over with this case.
I'm going to tell you what I said in the link to thing yesterday. I'll try to add some clips from that to my next video. John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan were on there, and I'll tell you kind of what I said. I think I may have told you this yesterday, but my prediction is we never see anything about Hinman. We never see anything about Ethereum. We never see anything about any of these questions about Hinman's public calendar, because those go in the bad file, or maybe bad / all the world's a stage file. I don't know. But you're never going to see those. This case will be made to go away before those. This case will be made to go away over a lot of the topics I'll cover in this video, because we are right over the truth target right now, and everybody knows it. Okay, we're right over the truth target right now, and when you're right over the truth target, and by the court proceedings, the SEC has been backed into the corner that is putting them in a position to either show the things that are underneath this, that are on that truth target. There's only one option. That's to get the hell out of it before you have to show it. That's just my opinion. I'm no attorney. Well, here, now, BitBoy, turns out BitBoy thinks that all the world's a stage. Listen to this.
I think that you're completely wrong, because I think you're believing that Ripple and the SEC are on separate sides. So, elaborate. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
They're on the same side.
I'd love to hear.
Who do you think Gary Gensler is? Who do you think Lizard Man Gary Gensler is?
Oh, he's probably big. He's probably big invested in XRP, to be honest with you.
He's a
Goldman Sachs MIT teacher.
Boom. There you go. He is as thick with the banking cartel as you can get. And the next 4 to 5 years are going to show how thick Ripple is inside the banking cartel.
That's true.
All of this, I love what TJ said yesterday about the Coinbase thing, which is it's all political theater. That's what this is. They're really all on the same side. So I think that this thing is going to break loose very soon, because that was part of the plan the whole time. And I do want to say one thing about the Coinbase lawsuit yesterday, the pending lawsuit from Coinbase, which is also political theater that's never going to happen on their Lend program. What the SEC is actually doing here is they are sending a shot across the bow that they will not have competitors where people can just take USDC and earn 4% on that. Why? Because these bond yields are going to be going down, and they don't want any way for people to make money in the markets that's better than these bond yields. They want to push people to these bond yields, and that's where the deflation is going. So that's kind of the hidden story within this that, with that Coinbase I wanted to mention from yesterday. The nitro for the XRP bull run is if they go ahead and announce that they are going public and give us a date for that. If that happens, that's the most bullish case. So SEC lawsuit is settled, and before the end of the run, that's announced. That would be the nitro fuel that could push it between $20 and $30. But I think, without that, I think we're definitely looking at $12, $15 very easily.
All right. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. that my 9-year-old had a walk-off hit last night. This kid is a switch hitter. We turned him into a switch hitter. We started training him from the time he's 5 years old. The kid's a switch hitter now, and he had a walk-off left-handed hit, a high stroke line drive to left center field, and I was very proud of him. Good. This kid, he's going to be something. My 15-year-old's a left-handed pitcher, and my 9-year-old is right. He's naturally right-handed, so I turned him into a switch hitter, so he would have an advantage that lefty pitchers have. Okay, now yesterday I showed you this. This is Matt Corva, the General Counsel of Consensus. Now, what I couldn't remember if I told you what he was describing here. This is where he said that they were in talks to form an alliance with several companies, law firms, and the SEC. The name of the project is called the Brooklyn Project, and I wanted to show you this clip again so that I can show you more about this.
Standards about Ethereum technology used in enterprise, and we thought, why don't we do this with best practices in token sales again? So we started a little bit on this with the Coinbase framework last year, and the idea of the Brooklyn Project is getting to a place where token sales better protect consumers. So Vinny talked about a couple of things, right? Like transparency in pre-sales, that's a big thing, right? Like no one should have a 10,000% discount. People shouldn't be flipping tokens on consumers. Things like lockups, things like restrictions on trading to reduce the chance of speculation, to reduce harm to consumers. So what we're really focused on there is building an alliance with other blockchain companies, law firms. There's a couple of interesting law schools that are interested. We hope Berkeley's going to get involved as well, and regulators. We've had some talks with some folks at the SEC about this. We've had some talks with folks in other government agencies.
Now, there's something I want to point out there. He through his hand motion, it's like he's looking at someone in the audience that's from the SEC, and the answer to that is that he is. There's another video that I haven't shown you yet. Maybe I'll show it to you in my next video. There were 3 SEC officials that were at this conference with him, and I will give you their names and show you a video of them in the next video. I just forgot to pull it up here. There were 3 SEC officials in this room. I'm assuming they're in the audience here because they had a session on this same day at this same location as this guy. Okay, so they're there. They're there, and they probably were meeting with him that day too. Okay, there was 3 of them from, and I'm trying to remember what. Anyway, next video I will show them to you. Let me write that down. SEC regulators. You know what? Let me see if I can pull up. No, I'm not going to do that. All right. Anyway, so you get the gist of it. So he's talking about the Brooklyn Project. Okay, that's where they're forming the alliance with the SEC. This is their announcement. This is Consensus announcement of the Brooklyn Project for token launches, a company, an industry-wide initiative to help fulfill the promise of tokenization by addressing head-on and solving the issues raised regarding token launches. And remember, while they're forming this alliance with the SEC, Brad Garlinghouse is all over TV during all this time, talking about how we need regulatory clarity from the SEC and we can't get it. They're meeting with Jay Clayton. There's a meeting that took place with David Schwartz and Brad Garlinghouse. I think they met with Hinman even. But every indicator I ever saw or have seen was that they couldn't get anything. It wasn't just Ripple, it was the rest of the industry. It was like they chose Bitcoin and Ethereum and everybody else gets pushed out. And that's the way it is. Okay? Now, all of that is going to go in box number 1, the really bad looking stuff. Now, all the world's a stage is the other option, but let's look down at the bottom here because this goes in box number 1, this looks really bad box. So the Brooklyn Project, in which Consensus is working with the SEC, they've got an alliance. Here's Joseph Lubin signed off on it. This Amanda Gutterman, who's a CMO at Consensus, Matt Corva, who's the guy you just saw in the clip, and Patrick Berarducci, legal at Consensus. Well, that guy, here's his LinkedIn profile, global fintech co-head at Consensus. If you go down, oh, look, what's this? He's an attorney at Sullivan Cromwell. That would be the same Sullivan Cromwell as ex-SEC Chair Jay Clayton returns to and was at before he was at the SEC. The same Sullivan Cromwell that Elizabeth Warren used to be worried about his potential conflicts of interest. Remember the hearings I showed you where Elizabeth Warren was grilling Jay Clayton, but at his confirmation hearing. I do not want this guy. He's got conflicts of interest because Sullivan Cromwell has a whole list of clients that he's represented, such as Goldman Sachs, and he won't be able to do his job. She was all mad about it back then. She doesn't want to bring any of this up now for some reason. This has all been put in front of her 1,000 times on Twitter. Okay, people have copied in her. She doesn't want to say a word about it now. She doesn't want to talk about it. Okay, and that goes into, I don't know what file that goes into, but she won't talk about it, and she's well aware that there were potential conflicts of interest. But now that what looks like conflicts of interest have risen to the surface in the way things have been done, she doesn't seem worried about it. And Gary Gensler has the same conflicts. Gary Gensler was with Goldman Sachs for 18 years. She doesn't seem concerned about that. She didn't say a word about that in his hearings. In fact, I never saw anybody put him to task. And I never saw his disclosures either, I don't think. Has anybody out there ever seen Gary Gensler's disclosures? We saw Jay Clayton's. Maybe that should go on a milk carton like Bill Hinman's public calendar. And then here's a tweet from Consensus on June 14th, the day that Bill Hinman made the speech, from the Brooklyn Project, the alliance with the SEC. Here it is. Very helpful guidance today from Director Hinman and SEC, not just about Ether, not a security, but also about issues to consider for projects creating consumer tokens. So the project that is an alliance with the SEC is tweeting out that this was guidance from Director Hinman. So it's guidance from Director Hinman and the SEC, not just him. They don't say helpful personal opinion from Director Hinman. Anybody smelling the rat that I smell, folks? Now, let's look at this. Wait till you see this one. So this, and I'm running way over time here. Maybe I should show you this in the next video. I think I'm going to show you this in the next video, but wait till you see this. Wait till you see this, folks, is all I got to say. Wait till you see this. I'm the digital... Wait, before I do that, I want to show you something. Link to one of my sponsors. They just added more Ripple equity to the platform. I think they put about... I don't know how much is up there, but anyway, they added more Ripple equity. Not XRP, the digital asset, Ripple equity. Okay? There's a difference. But they just added some onto the platform. Now, every time they add this stuff, it seems to be like gone within 30 minutes or something, but who knows? I don't know. I didn't look at how much they added, but anyway, go check it out. If you're an accredited, this is only for accredited investors, and you can sign up for an account at linqto.com. I have links in my description where you can download their app. You can go in there and talk to these guys about and ask them about accreditation and all that stuff. They can talk to you about that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that either we've got buzzards flying around what stinks to high heaven in this whole situation, or all the world's a stage. But you decide what that means for you.